Bed made, water gotten, heading down to do the elliptical right now. Woo! 2 minutes. Good job, Amanda. My hair is a mess. Coffee for morning time. Look how pretty it is out. Being Ryu to go walk, but somehow I grabbed socks, but then only one sock was found when I went to go put my shoes on. Olive's mad she's not going because it's just Ryu time. Instead, the washing machine ate my sock. I don't know, somewhere between the sock drawer and down here, I lost a sock. I'm probably gonna be walking and a sock is just gonna like fall out of my shirt or something. Breakfast this morning, 6 ounces of the breakfast sausage, 2 eggs, my second cup of coffee, and my vitamins. Scott's having same thing, but a lot more. This is what I ate. 2 eggs. I only ate 3 ounces of sausage. Most likely gonna eat this one. So I'll have 4 ounces of sausage and Scott's gonna finish off my egg yolk. Dishes. I'm a little late on doing this. Made my water. Does anybody else like just get this kind of weird high for having their kitchen sink empty, having their countertops clean? Because I love doing it after every meal and I feel like kind of a weirdo for just enjoying how squeaky clean my countertops are. We are heading down to my brother's. Scott's driving and I'll show you guys the sheepy and stuff. We're going down there to get a microphone, but then we're gonna stop and see the baby real quick too on the way back. But he's got some cute sheepies and a cute little sheep dog. Look at this sheepy dog. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl.
Hi, Ellie. Hello, sweetie.
We're taking a unexpected walk. We're gonna go catch up with my sister and the baby, walking the doggies.
Oh boy.
All the others, I won't lie.
We are getting ready to our bike ride. It's getting dark, so I've got my flashies, headlamp, and I got her flashy collar on to be safe. Was going to have some plain Buffalo Wild Wings for dinner tonight. However, Scott got there and the kitchen was behind like 45 minutes past when he was supposed to pick him up. We're going to be doing some charcuterie and cheese tonight instead because we didn't thaw anything else. Here's dinner tonight. Charcuterie, something or rather I got from Costco. And then if you want the best cheddar of your entire life, this Gardner, Wisconsin cheese, 17-year-old sharp cheddar. I'm not usually a huge sharp cheddar fan, but this is to die for. I actually have to keep Scott from eating half of it in one sitting. Here's dinner. This is all sorts of different charcuterie, and then my 17-year-old aged cheddar. This is dinner. Good evening. It is late. It's like 9:40 right now. Kind of got sucked into reading earlier, and today's been a pretty good day. For my HIIT exercises, I did it on the bicycle with Olive and just kind of timed it for that. That way I didn't have to do the elliptical too. And I realized something, I'm kind of doing the high intensity interval training with the bicycle anyways. I was feeling kind of tired, so I didn't feel like pushing myself to do a second time on the elliptical, which I find is completely fine. I don't want to wear myself out. I want to make this a consistent habit, working out and not a chore. So that's what we did. Walk the doggos. Ryu needs one more walk. I'm probably going to go find a jacket and some pants and go do that right after this. Today for eating, we kind of had a weird eating thing. Had the bacon and eggs for breakfast, and then I did order Buffalo Wild Wings, but then Scott went to go pick it up. I do plain, by the way, because they do cook their meat in tallow. All of their sauces have MSG and stuff in them. I highly recommend not doing it if you're going to do Buffalo Wild Wings. I use my homemade buffalo sauce myself anyways. We just make batches and keep it in the refrigerator, and I always have it on hand to warm it up then. But Scott got there and it was like 45 minutes past when he was supposed to pick it up that it would be ready. They were slammed. Scott just said, you know what, forget it. So we ended up just eating charcuterie for dinner. So I had like 4 different I had like 5 different kinds of like a salami. It was really good. It was a little charcuterie mix thing that we got from Costco, and then had some of that 17-year-old cheese. Oh, delicious. I will warn you that I love the Gardner, Wisconsin cheeses. They're phenomenal. The 17-year-old sharp cheddar is expensive. It's like $40 for a thing. However, if you buy, I think it's like $129 or more, they give it to you free. That is the way to do it. That's how we always get ours, because I'm not paying $40 for 1 block of cheese. But we also get my sister calls it the cheese bread, but it's just the oven baked cheese from there, and then some other cheeses that I like from there. So we just every once in a while order it. So I save that cheese for special times. Tonight was a special time. Something I've learned, always have a backup meal planned. Have something in your house as a backup meal. Would a charcuterie board really be a dinner? Nah, but for me, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was good enough, right? Food's nutrients. And I like charcuterie boards. So, what else? Doggos are doing good. I had an interesting conversation on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I listened to Dr. That's how I think you say his name. And what was the guy's name? Bow-Tied Ox talk about calories. So Bow-Tied Ox is all about calories in, calories out. Yeah, perfect. And then Dr. Tro is a big advocate for low carb. And here's Amanda's opinion and thoughts on this. And I know some people are not going to like this, but my question to you is, what is the point of fat? What is a fat cell in the human body? What is it? It stores energy. That's what fat cells do. They store energy. I mean, there's a little bit more than that because they actually release ghrelin and things like that. But their main function is to store excess energy consumed. So when you have extra fat on you, you've eaten more energy at that moment in time than you need. I don't subscribe to calories in, calories out hard, because our body uses thermal, which is what calories are. It uses mechanical, which is just movement, and it uses chemical energy. Well, you're only using one of the three to have an equation that, if you eat 1 calorie, you burn 1 calorie, you're net neutral. It's not exactly how it works. At the same time, it is also the only metric we have right now to measure energy for the human body. It's so complex and complicated. So I choose to say energy, because calories it can be helpful in a sense, but I'm not a calorie counter, and I honestly don't suggest calorie counting unless someone's stuck with their weight loss. Because that's the thing about carnivore, is I have heard so many people say, you can eat as much meat as you want. Well, the problem is food is energy. It doesn't matter what kind of food. It doesn't matter if you're eating pizza. It doesn't matter if you're eating ribeye. It all boils down to energy. There's nutrients and there's energy in them. If we're consuming too much energy, it has to go somewhere, and it gets stored as fat. Interestingly enough, if you eat a lot in one meal, our body is constantly storing and pulling from energy fat reserves constantly. If we eat a lot in one setting, we do store some of that as fat. But at the same time, if you go 3 hours later and your body needs energy, it'll pull from your fat stores. And it's this constant pull and flux with our fat. And what I find interesting about their conversation is the calorie in, calorie out guy is just like, it works. It works. And it's like, well, on paper it does. But then you have to take so many things into the equation. Gender, age, activity level. I saw a video where it's like, I eat 7,000 calories a day. And here's the thing, there are probably females that can easily do that. Olive is digging in. There are probably females and people who eat a lot of energy a day. They are highly active. They have a fast metabolism, which is going to fall more on a genetic component. Scott has a fast metabolism compared to mine, right? If they've never been metabolically ill, there's so many things. Maybe they have a very active job. it's going to vary so much from person to person. And this is also the reason calories in, calories out don't work. It's a calculator spitting out a number, not having any idea about your physiology of your body. That being said, it's not that we can't use it. Like right now, I'm tracking how much intake I'm having. Some days I'm having 2,000 calories. Some days, I think today I had 1,100, but I feel fine. It's going to vary. Again, the only time I strongly suggest paying attention to your energy consumption is if you get stalled, right? There are reasons that it can happen, but fundamentally, I think they are more outliers than inliers. When I've hit my weight stalls in the past, it turns out I was eating too much cheese. I was eating too much like processed meats and things like that. And things were creeping in that I just didn't realize were creeping in. And following that is how like I kind of discovered it. I say all this and I don't want anybody to turn into like this fanatic of calorie counting that I have to eat 1,200 or 4, I don't even know what they used to say. I thought it was like 1,200 calories for a female to lose weight. I don't know. But I don't want anybody to turn into that. But I also want people who are stuck to really assess what you're eating. Kelly Hogan said something and it made a lot of sense. Most people are addicted to feeling full. The feeling of fullness from eating. It's like, we've learned to clear our plates. We've learned that when our stomach feels full, that's when to finish eating. That's actually not. It takes about 20 minutes for the receptors in the stomach to say stop eating. Well, this is why Scott has stayed skinny most of his life. He eats very slow. If him and I have the same amount of food on our plate, he'll take, let's say, 45 minutes to eat it. I'll take 10 minutes to eat it because I eat fast, right? In 20 minutes, he's going to hit his peak and be like, you know what, I'm done eating. And he's only eaten 45% of his food. Where in 10 minutes, I've eaten 100%. And then it hits me, oh my God, I'm really full. I ate a lot more than he did. So there's a lot of components that go into this. And so I just want to throw that out there, is when I eat until I'm no longer hungry. It is before I feel the sensation of feeling full. This is for Amanda, everybody's going to be different. If I feel full, I have eaten too much. It's a weird sensation. It's like I'm not hungry, but I'm not full. I just feel almost nothing. It's very odd. It feels actually quite pleasant, but I don't feel full, but I don't feel hungry. It's like inner between for me. And I think that's a big thing. So as far as their conversation, honestly, they were just talking past each other and it was kind of annoying because the calorie in, calorie out guy kept saying straw man argument. But here's the thing. We can lose weight anyway. The thing is it going to work? And what I mean by that is on paper, it'll work. I've eaten high carb, low fat and lost weight, but it's not sustainable for me. Why? I was hungry all the time. And that's where low carb comes in, or lower carb diet comes in so importantly. When we are doing low carb, we're removing the ups and downs of their blood sugars. We are streamlining the fat coming off our body process, right? And we have a instant stream of energy from our fat cells. Okay? This is why we don't have the highs and lows that people who eat a high carb diet. Also, with ketones, we are very satiated. We are extremely satiated. If we're eating just what we need that day, we tend not to overeat. Now, that being said, I do agree with him. It is possible and it can be easy to overeat on low carb diets. If we're eating past what our physiological need is and we're focusing on like the feeling of fullness or, you have to clear your plate kind of mentality, which I grew up with. It took me a long time to break. And I hope this is making sense because I feel really passionate about this, that sometimes people say calories and then people like go off on like, oh my God, no, calories don't matter. And it's like, it isn't a one-to-one. Energy matters, energy consumption. And it isn't like if I eat, one thing, I can do X and get exactly out. No, because as I said, there's 3 variables and only one of them is accounted for in calories. It doesn't mean they're useless. It just means a calorie eaten is not exactly a calorie burned, But I just want people to be aware of that because I see that happen frequently. People get stalled, and just check out what you're eating. Ask yourself, am I eating for the sensation of fullness? I know Dr. B says eat until you feel full. For me, that is way past what I need. I have a lot of extra Bank of Amanda going on here still, and I want to dip into my deposits. So if I eat until full, I've eaten too much. But that's also because I've been metabolically ill my entire adult life, and I never actually learned what satiation felt like past the, oh, my stomach is feeling full, right? So I just want to throw that out there. You know, it is what it is, and I think that's just something to be aware of. Is a lot of times people get very defensive about whether you're a calorie or not a calorie person or whatever, and I say remove the word calorie and focus on energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Okay, that's like a principle of physics. It's a principle of the world. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. If you eat energy and you are not pooping it out, it has to go somewhere. Okay, we transfer energy to different types, and that's why I said thermal, chemical, or mechanical. That is how energy gets exchanged in our bodies. I will stop ranting on. If you guys have more like questions about this, throw them in the comments, you know, because this is something I'm quite passionate about, and I think a lot of times people just jump on this bandwagon and they're like, you know, like Dr. Tro, low carb, it doesn't matter. Except I feel like he was kind of not, I feel like what he was actually saying was, is clinically calories in, calories out don't matter, or not don't matter, but isn't helpful. Meaning if you have someone obese and you're asking them to lose weight, having them track every single thing they eat all the time doesn't help because they become hyper focused on food. Versus with keto, low carb stuff, you can eat foods and you're more satiated, so you're less likely to overeat, which I do think is true. So low carb is a way to control your appetite, right? Eating less energy is the weight loss. Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be caveats and nuance to this. There are some diseases, there are some physiological issues and stuff that can cause problems. But again, I think that is more the exception than the rule. But again, all Amanda's opinion. Take it, leave it, whatever. Just want to talk about it. I appreciate you guys so very much. Have a good rest of your day. Hopefully that did not stress you out too much. All you should get from that is just assess what you're eating and figure out, is it emotional? Is it habitual? And what is your like knowing your stopping point when you eat? That's something to delve into. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Have a good Monday. And I weigh myself Sunday, so that's tomorrow. I weigh myself, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.